at some point in time, I would say it was around 2018 or 19, was when we kind of first started to hear about Rosterfy. I'm not entirely sure if that was just through our team's internal research and the volunteer team as well, but it was a good fit. There was a couple different things that stood out for us, like not only like the interface and the way that the scheduling of volunteers and all that sort of back end user interface, how that all worked, but then from like an IT perspective, you had a pretty you have a pretty robust API that then can pull information out from Rosterfy into our registrant badge printing application. So having that tie-in was a big help for us. That way it's more of a uniform experience and it's not working out of multiple applications to try and achieve the same goal.
Yeah, so like Sage said, we were way back in the day, because I also came up to the volunteer program. So I was a volunteer, and then I was a volunteer manager for a long time. And so I dealt with our in-house database, and then I dealt with the one we had before that, and the one we've had before that was better than the in-house database. And there were a lot of great things about it, but there were also things that just we couldn't do in it, or required more intervention by the company, and we couldn't make the changes and stuff. And then when we came into Rosterfy, yeah, it was a much easier experience, both for, I feel like, a volunteer being able to see what they need to see, and being able to pick their own schedules. I think that was one of the major things we were looking for, is we wanted them to be able to pick their own schedules instead of us doing it on their behalf, which is what our volunteer managers would do. Everyone would come in, they'd sign up, and they would schedule them by hand. I found that it was fairly easy to figure out the basics of what I needed to do. Some of the features you have to dig a little more, and there's some features that I never even knew existed, and then eventually I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was possible. So through the multiple years we've been using it, I've learned more and more features, and I've learned better how to make the automations work the way we need to do it, and set up the look and feel the way we need to do it, and where I can customize it, and where the customization may not work for us, but we figure out how to make that what is there work for us. So, but I found it to be each thing has been much easier. So this is a better experience than our previous system across the board. We can better see how full crews are than we used to be able to do. And so that lets us use Rosterfy's tools of promoting certain crews. And when I say crews, I mean, we relabel events to be crews, the way we use it. The event isn't South by Southwest. It is one of the crews for South by Southwest. So we use that a little differently, but we're able to see how full a crew is a lot easier, how full the shifts are, and redirect volunteers to the shifts that we need more people for. So that's helped a lot, instead of trying to guess which ones and then like having to manually contact volunteers and all that. Now we can just be like, we're going to push this one up to the top of the list, and volunteers are going to choose that one, probably just because that's the one that they see first. So that's all helped immensely. I can't say that I have any true numbers on any of that, because we did not do a great job of keeping track of all the stuff from previous. But I think Rosterfy definitely did help us rebuild our volunteer base post-COVID.